Welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob here. It's the day after Memorial Day, so hopefully everyone did their Murph and posted all about it all over social media.
Really, people still do that shit.
Yeah. Is there anything dumber?
I'm
I
sure
was
there
gonna say
is.
more infuriating. It's not that infuriating, and there's plenty of things that people do that piss me off more than that. But I mean, at this point, right? We're almost 10 years post like CrossFit boom, right? The boom was probably what, like 2012 to 2017, like for 5 years.
In there.
There was like that was like peak CrossFit. Like, yeah, oh dude, you CrossFit, bro? Like the dumb shit, right? So again, almost 10 years past its peak. Um, and people are still like, oh, I gotta do your Murph. Got to post myself in the gym on Memorial Day. Like, hey, man, you know what I really don't care about is you doing a workout. And not only just a workout, the same workout you do every year on Memorial Day. Yeah, but
Yeah, I
it's to
mean,
honor Murph. Okay, Murph. Oh, you know him? You
yeah,
know?
and not for nothing, it's how to take a holiday that's not about you, but make it about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, look at me.
Yeah, of all the holidays, right? Memorial Day is probably the least holiday ish, right? It's probably up there with Juneteenth, right? Like Memorial Day and Juneteenth are probably the
No,
two least
no, stop.
holidays.
That's off. That's a bad take.
What do you mean?
Okay, so if we're gonna power, let's power rank the holidays, right?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm not talking about that. I mean like holiday in the sense of like cause for celebration. I'm not. I mean, in power ranking the holidays, Memorial Day is probably top five. But I'm saying like Christmas is like time for cheer and presents and all this stuff, and Thanksgiving is family and fun and happy, and Easter is like fun for little kids and all that stuff.
East,
And
Easter's a Sunday though. That ain't a
well,
holiday.
yeah, yeah, that's fine. We're talking semantics here. 4th of July is like it's dead summer. It's America's birthday. It's let's celebrate. It's America's the best. Memorial Day is like, yeah, man, all those people that died fighting wars. Today is the day to just be like, hey, thanks to all those people that fucking died, right? Like that's not
President's
really
Day.
that's not really like a holiday, right? It's not like a happy holiday. It's since turned its way into a happy holiday because people look at Memorial Day as the unofficial start of summer, quote unquote,
Which that's another thing.
especially in New England because the weather sucks here for 9 months out of the year. So, the beginning of the 3 good months that we get is usually around Memorial Day. Sometimes it doesn't come until July, but um, yeah. And then obviously like Juneteenth, right? It's when they finally found out, like the last people finally found out that slavery was ended. It's like, again, not a real happy holiday. Um, but like Veterans Day is supposed to be to like thank a veteran, like, oh, the stupid thank you for your service, that dumb bullshit, right? Like let's Labor Day, thank you for working all year. Here's one day off. You know what I mean? Like all of it, like typically the holidays, right, have some sort of positive connotation to it. Memorial Day, I would not say is a positive connotation. Again, it's been overtaken to mean that because it again is the unofficial start of summer. But like at its truest form, like I said, Memorial Day is about like literally the tens, if not hundreds of millions of people that have died, like protecting this country. Like that's a tough sell, right? So instead, people are like, oh yeah, it's the start of summer. I go and put my boat in the lake on every Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, summer's here. It's like, yeah, but like what is it about? It's about a bunch of dead people, right? Like that's kind of not cool. Same thing, like I said, Memorial Day and Juneteenth, right? Juneteenth was when the last people finally found out that slavery had ended, which I think was it like 7 years after the Civil War or something like that? I don't know, some like ridiculous amount of time. Um, but again, not that cool, right? People were still slaves after the Civil War. Like then they finally figured it out on June 19th of whatever year. So I would say those two holidays are the least holiday-ish. And that's what I mean. I don't mean like power ranking them.
Being too critical of Memorial Day.
I don't think I'm being critical of Memorial Day at all. I
Eh,
think it's a nice day. It's a fun it's a good occasion again to remember people that died for the country, right? That's literally exactly what it is by definition. Um, like I'm not going to be one of those hardos that's like, oh, don't say Happy Memorial Day because there's nothing happy about it. No, you're a dickhead, right? Like it, just let people like do their
so
thing.
who greets people with Happy Memorial Day? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Or like, was it? I don't remember. I don't remember whether it was during Biden's presidency. It might have been his first year, or it could have been during Obama. But like somebody said, "Oh, have a happy long weekend," or like have a good long weekend, and then the fucking internet erupted because they were like, "Oh, enjoy your long weekend, huh? Huh? What about all those people that died, huh? Huh? What about like again? We don't need to get down
like go to
that
work.
far."
That's my thing. If that's your thing, then go to work on Monday.
Right, right,
Don't go to the Cape. Don't go to fucking New Hampshire. Go to work
right. But
if that's
I
gonna be your thing.
my only point was like at its core, it's not like a celebration holiday, right? It's like it's a hey, it's a in memoriam holiday.
So some could argue it actually is the best holiday because it's the only one where it's not about you, or it shouldn't be about you.
You're right, but you know, don't let CrossFitters know that, or people at BC,
Why do they cancel Memorial Day?
or vegans. No, the vegan CrossFitter that
Oh,
goes to BC. It's
oh,
how you
true.
because all they do is talk about themselves and how they went to BC and how they do CrossFit and how they're a vegan.
People have been abandoned. It's getting tough out there.
Yeah, but yeah, so don't post your stupid fucking workout on Instagram. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I can assure you, no one cares.
Especially the people now that I think it's because we're also like past the peak CrossFit thing again. People post like their own version of Murph. And it's like, oh,
No, there is no your own version.
couldn't get to the gym, but here's what I did instead.
That doesn't count.
Exactly. I'm 100%. Those were the next words out of my mouth. Like it
That's
doesn't matter. Like that's
like,
not Murph. Murph is a very specific workout. You run a
yeah.
mile, you do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 pull-ups, and then you run a mile. That's the workout. It's
Well,
not,
I went to the
well,
gym today to play basketball,
yeah.
but instead I threw some horseshoes into the bleachers and watched them clang around. That's basketball, but
Yeah.
that's my version of basketball for today.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's not basketball.
Yeah.
The workout's clearly defined. If you don't do it, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, here's my version. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't have a pull-up bar, so I did 100 rows. You didn't do Murph.
Yeah. Next time, find somewhere with a pull-up bar.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I got no use for that. Yeah.
it's a waste of a lot of things. It's a waste of a lot of things. So
Especially yeah, especially well, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna say I did it by not doing it. It's like just fucking jump off a bridge,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that workout, but I'm going to do a different workout, but say it's still in memory of the same guy
Who I've never met.
who I've never met. But yeah, it's for Murph. Dude, like you don't one, you don't know him. Two, just because you watched the movie, you
Yeah.
still don't know him. Because whatever his name, Taylor Kirch, whoever played Murph in Lone Survivor, it's still not him. Still not him. That was an actor playing a real person. That was not the real person. So yeah, but you want to talk about swing and misses here. People swing and miss on Murph. We swung and missed on two potential celebrity deaths that happened over the weekend. One of them was Morgan Spurlock, who is best known
Supersize
for
me?
Supersize Me. Yeah, yeah. So what did he do? 30 days of only eating McDonald's or something like
Yeah, and
that,
I
or a
think
year? Did he go a year?
I don't know.
I don't remember what it was.
I think it had to have been more than 30 days.
Yeah.
I feel like he
I feel like since then, like somebody did 30 days of eating McDonald's to lose weight. I think that's what someone did.
well, it was only
Um,
30 days.
oh,
It was.
yeah. What did he ate every meal at McDonald's for 30 days?
Yep. And I believe part of the thing was if they asked if he wanted to supersize it, he had to say yes.
Yeah. That came out in 2003,
Or
four.
yeah, so he had to eat 3 McDonald's meals daily, consume every item on the McDonald's menu at least twice or at least once over the course of the 30 days. Uh, only items offered on the McDonald's menu, so no outside consumption.
Yeah.
Must supersize it if offered. um, he will attempt to walk about as much as a typical U.S. citizen based on a suggested figure of 5,000 distance steps per day. Yep, pretty good.
Yeah. And obviously that led to like a lot of other shit too, right? Like that was, I think Food Inc. was 2008, but like Supersize Me kind of kicked off that initial question what you're eating sort of thing, right? Because like up until then, people just literally didn't really think about it. They were like, yeah, I'll just go eat McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell. Chipotle didn't exist yet then, but and I think the whole reason why Chipotle was successful is because probably because of Super Size Me, because they went the opposite direction and their whole shtick is like quote unquote healthy ingredients, right? Um, doesn't matter when you eat a 2,200 calorie burrito, but um, yeah, I mean, I think that was the first kind of jump into like people questioning shit, right? And being like, oh, maybe I should look into the stuff that I'm eating. Like, where is this coming from? Type of deal.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be up there. I mean, that's probably like around the time when people were like, "Oh, I thought hot dogs were good for me," and then it's like whatever that stupid ass documentary that came out like fucking 6 years ago. And it was like I thought it was a fucking parody. It's like
Oh,
14. I forget. I forget what it was called. It was awful. Me and you had it on for like fucking 25 minutes.
yeah, it was something health. What the health?
Sounds right. But
Yeah, did you
Again,
know
like,
red meat causes more cancer than smoking cigarettes? It's like, actually, no, that's false.
yeah, that's wrong. It's like, well, I thought hot dogs were good for you. It's like I genuinely thought this documentary was fucking satire. Like, if that came out in 2018, which I
Is
don't know when
this
it
is
did,
this a broken lizard production?
like that's like 14, at least 14 years after
Yeah,
Super Size Me. And like 14 years later, like you tried to do it, but did it worse.
yeah, yeah,
And then of course with like society too, it's like it goes like too far one way. So it's like, people try to like, oh, I'm gonna get my health in order. And it's like, oh, yes. No fast food for you, but be careful of the fruit. It's got sugar in it. It's like,
yeah,
okay, great.
yeah, yeah,
We're doing this now.
yeah. That's one of my favorites when people are like, "Well, I don't know if I can eat fruit because there's too much sugar in it." It's like, what? What?
Yeah,
Do you know
it's
how much
amazing.
fruit you would need to consume to be, again, I'm using air quotes here, too much sugar?
Yeah, never mind. Well, first of all, you shit your pants, so
Yeah,
it would all be coming out of you. So you couldn't actually probably intake that amount. But even to be in like a caloric surplus from adding fruit and not a bunch of other bullshit,
yeah,
do you have any idea how hard that is? To again also not give yourself fucking like GI issues.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
like I don't know when it was. I've started eating like a ton of fruit again lately. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm a fucking piece of shit and
I like fruit. I do enjoy
everything
fruit.
hurts all the time and I don't sleep and I suck. But yeah, I mean it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be the the orange, the peach, and the banana I ate today, and not like,
Yeah,
oh, you ate a bunch of fucking honey hots because you went to Dedham House of Pizza last over the weekend. Maybe
yeah,
yesterday. I don't even remember. That might have been yesterday.
yeah. Just looked it up. 4 strawberries is 25 calories.
Watermelon isn't your jam either, but watermelon got crushed for like the GI stuff. It's like the amount of watermelon you need to eat to like get that type of sugar intake is
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Well, it's the whole argument behind why you shouldn't consume fruit juice, right? Like apple juice, orange juice, like all those, because I forget, I think it was maybe it was a Rogan podcast, or maybe it was just a different, podcast I was listening to with like a guest. It could have been, I think it was Peter Attia, actually. Maybe it was his book. He was talking about if you take one orange and you squeeze it, the amount of juice that you get from squeezing one orange is like half a mouthful, right? If you fill a glass full of orange juice, that is the equivalent to consuming like whatever it is, like 32 oranges. Can you sit down in one sitting and physically eat 32 oranges? The answer is no, right? Because you have to consume the actual fruit and like the fiber and everything. And like it takes up space in your stomach. Like you can't do it. You get full, you get sick, whatever. But when you take the the physical fiber parts of it out and you're only consuming the juice, yeah, you just drank the equivalent of 32 oranges in that one cup of orange juice. Like that's the argument behind why fruit juice is not good, because it artificially inflates the amount of the fruit that you can consume, let alone that like most fruit juices are also from concentrate too. So you get into like some other weird things and preservatives and stuff like that. So like whatever, you can go down those rabbit holes if you want to. But like in general, right? Like one glass of apple juice is like 24 apples. Can you sit down and consume 24 apples? No, you can't. Right. So it's like, it's just kind of one of those like, hey man, like maybe ease up on the juice, right? Like there's so like that's I think where it comes from. Not because and again, people are dumb. right? So people will sit there and be like, oh, I can't have an apple today. There's too much sugar in that apple. No, there actually isn't that much sugar in it. If you drink a glass of apple juice, that has too much sugar in it. But eating one apple is fine.
Oh man, you don't know anything about insulin or some shit. That's what they say on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, your insulin spike. But uh anyway, Morgan Spurlock died. I think he died of cancer too.
I think so. I think that's correct.
So interesting. I don't know if it was related. There's probably no way to tell if it was related to McDonald's or not. But I mean, probably not.
I
He
mean,
only
dude,
did it for
30
30
days.
days. 30 days isn't long enough to
I
do
don't think
anything.
so.
No. Um, and then the other swing and the miss was Bill Walton, local guy, former Celtic. Uh, although I think he was only with the Celtics for what, like 4 or 5 years. He did win a title with the Celtics,
Yeah.
but he played most of his career in Portland with the Trailblazers, or he was drafted there at least. Um, he died over the weekend too. I think he also died of cancer.
He okay, so he definitely did. Maybe I'm confusing. Honestly, I mean, it's probably true. I mean, cancer sucks. Like,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like probably somewhere between 20 to 30% of all deaths in the United States are cancer.
oh, it's up crazy.
I feel like heart disease is number one, cancer is number two. So between the two of them, I feel like that's got
It's
to
got to
cover
cover
at
like
least
what,
like
80%?
50%. Yeah. Yeah. Um, deaths in US are cancer. Let's see. Don't give me this stupid shit. You know what? Actually, I've been um vehemently against ChatGPT since the very beginning because um I don't know, just the whole thing about like artificial intelligence and like someday it's going to become sentient and like go after all the people that like abused it or whatever. But because I've seen enough movies, I know how this ends. And also something weird about ChatGPT is that for a long time, they made you sign up to use it. So you had to like enter in like your phone number and your name and email address. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And again, is it frivolous? Yes, it is. Plenty of organizations, especially governments around the world, yes, plural governments, because I'm assuming I've been on the internet long enough, have my information, right? So like, what's one more, right, with ChatGPT? But like, I don't know, something's just weird. The process. If someone's going to take my information, I want them to at least work for it, right? Like, if the fucking Taiwanese government is going to clone my email address and use it for some weird scam or something, I want them to at least like jump through hoops and like buy it from fucking Mass Golf, right? Like when Mass Golf sells the data of all its members, or you know what I mean? Like do something, right? Like I'm not going to willingly give away my phone number, name, and email address. Um, However, ChatGPT is now free. So I've been using it a lot more lately. And I found it's actually really good. So I just typed in what percent of deaths in the US um, are cancer related in Google. And I got like so many different things and articles and all this stuff. I just typed it into ChatGPT and it goes, as of my last update, cancer accounted for around 21% of all deaths in the United States. However, this statistic can vary slightly over time due to advancements in treatment and changes in population demographics. The exact answer that I wanted was right there. I didn't have to be like, I got to click on this link and scan the article and look for a number, right? Like look for a percentage. And it's nope, ChatGPT just gave me the answer that
So,
I needed.
yeah. So is Google dying? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think Google might be on the way out. Because ChatGPT is way better.
Who owns ChatGPT?
OpenAI,
Oh, fuck. Who owns them?
probably Google. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's certainly going to make people even more lazy, right? Because like I said, like the internet, we talk about it all the time. The internet is at the tip of your finger. All you have to do is type a question into Google and it will give you quite literally endless pages of websites that have something related to what you typed in the search bar. Uh, ChatGPT can take all of that and just give you what you're looking for. Takes the work out of it. It's pretty cool.
I haven't used it for anything at all.
And then, so then I just follow up and say, what percent of deaths are heart disease? Heart disease has been the leading cause of death in the United States, typically accounting for around 25% of all deaths. Thanks, ChatGPT. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I don't have to do anything. It just does it for me. So funny about that. Um, that's it. They were the only two people that died, by the way. So we're good. We're moving on from the loser laps. Um, the other day, I went on ChatGPT and I forget the exact prompt that I gave it, but I was like, I'm looking to update my LinkedIn profile. Um, I am a senior workplace project manager, and I'm have these sort of things. Like, can you write an attractive about section? Literally in about 7 seconds, it populated this entire thing. So you can find me on LinkedIn. You just look me up on LinkedIn, because all I did was copy and paste exactly what it wrote. I mean, I took out some lines and added some other things, but like 85% of my LinkedIn about section is from ChatGPT. Because I just copied and pasted and then put it in. And you read through it and you're like, wow, this guy's a really good professional. And then
No,
you
he's
listen
not.
to me on this show and you're like, wow, this guy's fucking retarded.
But smart enough to use ChatGPT instead of doing. And so that's the thing. Smart enough to use the tools at your disposal instead of doing a shitty job on your own.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean, it does kind of create an interesting situation, right? Because, and I can totally understand now where teachers probably have no idea if someone actually wrote something, or if it was ChatGPT, because I haven't gone this far. I probably could, but I would imagine you could give it a prompt, right? Like, say you're in 8th grade and you have to write a biography on Napoleon Bonaparte, right? You could probably go to ChatGPT and say, using relevant information from 8th grade world history, can you write 2,000 words or less on Napoleon Bonaparte? And then I would spit something out and you would read through it and be like, it's a little high level. And you could go back and be like, can you rewrite it using the vocabulary of like a 9th grade level, right? Like go one level up. And then they could rewrite it. And then you just hand in the paper. And there you go. You don't have to write a paper. You just have to tell ChatGPT like the parameters of what you're looking for, and it'll just do it for you.
No one has to do anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're inching closer and closer to the Matrix. Not that ChatGPT actually has anything to do with that. It just makes people more sedentary. And I don't know. Is lazy the word? Because you still, again, like you said, like you still have to know to use it. You know how you have to know how to prompt it, right? Because if you just go in and say, write a biography for Napoleon Bonaparte and then print it out, like, and you're in eighth grade, what if it's written at like a college level, right? Like if a teacher reads that, they'd be like, you didn't fucking write this.
Um, yeah, I mean, just using it isn't lazy. The people who go, well, you don't have to do anything anymore. It's lazy. Well, that's kind of fucking lazy if you ask me.
It's a lazy argument.
Yeah, because you do need to know how to do it right. And that's like you used a pretty good example where it's like, well, no one has to write a paper anymore. It's like, no, you do because if you're too fucking stupid to proofread the fucking thing,
Right.
you're gonna get caught. And if you get caught, now you're talking potentially plagiarism, right?
Right.
Because you didn't do the work, but whatever. So it's actually one of those things to not get caught. You need to actually have some base level of knowledge or something
Right.
because you need to know what's going to get you into trouble. So it's really not that late. Again, it's not as lazy. It is
Right.
like if it's schoolwork, yeah, you're skipping the work, but I don't know. In real life, it's like, yeah, fine. Use whatever fucking tools are available to you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it. um, you still need to navigate it, right? Like to your point, you need to be smart enough to do it the right way. Because people, because I know someone out there is listening and they're like, you don't see anything wrong with it. What do you mean? That's cheating. Listen, I'm going to let you come out from the rock that you live under. People have been cheating since school has existed, since
I
before
mean,
school has
there are
existed.
no original thoughts,
Right.
so
Right. Like people have been cheating on things for literally forever. Right. So let's just move past that. Um, so if you're going to do it, at least be smart about it enough to not get caught.
uh, that's the big one. I mean, the other thing too is it's like school's falling behind, right? Like you don't need to write your own shit anymore.
Yeah.
You need to produce your own shit. So however you produce it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, kind of. Again, you can't plagiarize, but
Yeah.
even now you can. Like that's that. Like I mean, not in like writing or like in a literary sense. Like if you go on social media and like all these media companies, they'll all just say the same shit. It's all the same,
Yeah.
identical.
Yeah. It's all based off the same psychology principles too, right? Like you use a certain color to evoke a certain emotion, certain shapes, and do this. And like that's the whole stupid thing right now that we're in. We're in this like minimalist like marketing thing. So like all the logos and everything, like whether it's sports teams or brands or anything like that, all these things are starting to like rebrand and they're becoming like minimalist, like sleek, one color, like one smooth line pattern. There's no designs or anything like that. And it's like, that's fucking dumb. I think the best example I saw was the Memphis Grizzlies, right? When they were the Vancouver Grizzlies, like that logo was fucking dope, right? Like it was a grizzly bear with giant ass claws, like swiping at it was either swiping at a basketball or it had a basketball in its mouth. It was like a turquoise teal color that was said Grizzlies or Memphis or Vancouver. Um, like it was just really cool. And now their current logo is a two-tone like blueberry blue and like a light blue teddy bear looking thing. And it's like all right, it's kind of fucking lame. right? Like the Patriots logo, right? It went from Pat Patriot, which was a Minuteman in a 3-point stance, ready to hike the football, to this stupid flying Elvis thing. Granted, that was in the 90s, so it was a little bit ahead of its time, I guess, as far as the minimalist goes. But like, it's just dumb. Like, I don't like the whole like minimalist thing either.
Apparently, you need to take it up with the marketing
Yeah.
czars.
You notice from the Super Bowl logos too. I think it was after Super Bowl 50, all the Super Bowl designs look exactly the same. They just go from being like red and yellow one year to red and purple to blue and green, and they just change the like whatever the color is of the banner on the bottom that says Super Bowl. They're all the same, exact same logo.
Yep.
So I don't know how we got to logos
I don't know either.
there. No idea. Um, well, I guess sports logos is a good transition though, because the NCAA just ruled that the Power Five is now, well, I think there was a lawsuit between the NCAA and the Power Five conferences. So they settled a lawsuit that is going to let universities pay college athletes, like from the actual university itself. So over the last couple of years, there's been the NIL deals, right? The name, image, and likeness, which allowed college players to just receive money in the first place for their name, image, and likeness. Now, after this lawsuit, um, the ACC, Big 12, Big 10, Pac 12, and SEC are now going to pay $2.8 billion over the next 10 years. And I think that's just for back pay. So that's athletes that played in college. I can't find over the last like how long back, because they're not going to pay people that went to college in like 1992, right? Like there's a cutoff year somewhere. I don't know where it
You
is.
can pay everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Reparations. um, so now the NCAA will begin. I don't. It's not a profit share, but it is kind of in a way for salaries, basically for college players, and college players will receive 22% of the annual athletic department revenue at the top conferences, which would be about $20 million per school. So obviously it's a win, right? College athletes get to get paid for years and years and years. Colleges were making hundreds of millions of dollars off of these athletes. And if they got a watch, right, they got thrown out of the fucking NCAA, right? Um, so we've come a long way from that. But people out there are like, oh, this is great. And yeah, it is great. But I think it's hilarious that they're going to give 22% of their revenue to the players, because the professional sports leagues are like right around 50%. I think the NFL is 48%. I feel like MLB might be like 56%, something like that. So, or it's either the MLB or the NBA. I mean, they're both probably pretty high, but I think the NHL and the NFL are below 50% um, of the league revenue. But I mean, I think it's interesting, right? Obviously, it's a win, right? But I don't think it's as big of a win as people are making it out to be, because again, they're only getting 22% of the revenue.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that much.
No, it doesn't. So if you consider too They said it's about $20 million per school. And you're like, okay, $20 million. Yeah, but what they're not telling you is that $20 million now needs to be divvied out to men's football, men's baseball, women's softball, men's basketball, women's basketball, women's lacrosse, men's lacrosse, uh, probably men's and women's swimming, track and field. So all of a sudden, that $20 million gets pretty small pretty quick.
It's nothing.
Yeah. So again, it's it's a good start. So
Yeah,
once
and
again, oh yeah, go ahead.
I would say, and also the alarmists that are like, oh, now they're just gonna cut every sport. It's like, just fucking stop. Because I heard that too. It's like, oh, they're just gonna cut everything. All the lower earning sports, they're just gonna cut it. Okay, man, whatever you think.
Yeah.
Like if that's how you want to be, go nuts.
And I mean, I'm sure some of that will happen, but
But
I'm
some of that's
also
probably gonna happen
sure,
anyway.
yeah, exactly. I was just going to say it happens all the time anyway. Colleges are removing some sport to replace it with a different sport all the time. So ChatGPT coming through for the win again. Um, the NFL receives 48%. NFL players get 48% of the league revenue. Let's see what it is in the MLB. 50%. So yeah, they're all right around 50%. So I don't know. I think it's cool, right? I think it's cool that they're going to get paid, because in the last part of this article it says precise details about how that money will be allocated aren't known at this time. The U.S. judge still needs to approve the settlement, which could take effect in the 2025-26 academic year. So it's still about a year away. But again, they just said they don't know how they're going to allocate it, because then you're going to get people that are big mad, right? When at Alabama, the football team gets 12 million of the 20 that's allocated for salaries to players, right? And it's like, or maybe 10 million, right? Maybe they get 10 out of the 20 million. And then probably how's Alabama's baseball team? Is it any good?
Um, I don't know. They had the coach that got fired for fucking betting on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. So say like, because you're gonna have colleges like that, right? That have two, three major teams, and then the rest of their teams are gonna get paid what, $1,000 for the season, which again is $1,000 they didn't have before, but still, like, people are gonna be pissed about that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, or I would actually, I would hope that they could also start tying some of the transfer stuff into this. Like if you transfer, you're not eligible to get paid. Um,
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, because it's such a low percentage of revenue, kind of doesn't matter, because the money is still in the NIL deals.
right.
Because you're going to get more money through that than you would getting paid a
Yeah, but
salary
even
from the
even
school.
for like, women's basketball, like women's basketball is usually like good enough in like ratings. It's not as good as men's basketball, definitely not as good as football. Um, but like they might actually have the chance to like actually earn something. But if you're just gonna fucking bounce from team to team to team to team to team, it's like maybe that makes you ineligible. Like that, I think I would like to see that because
Yeah.
this transfer shit is too fucking much.
Yeah. It's kind of getting out of hand,
It's fucking stupid. Like,
especially in
because
college football.
and there was a time when it was like get one transfer. It's like, should you really have to sit a year? I don't know. But now I'm like, fuck, just bring back the old system. Or you get one. You get one transfer, period. That's it.
Right. Right.
And like bring back the old red shirt rules too. Like you play in one game, you burn that fucking red shirt.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's gone too fucking far.
Well, because yeah, now you got guys that are graduating college as like a sixth year senior. And I know right now it's different because you had the COVID year too. So you got guys that were in college for
We're
seven
close to
years.
being out of that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
But
mean, for a while, you could have had someone that was in college for 7 years.
yeah, because you get 5 and 2. There's someone in college that's been there for like fucking 9. Like you used to have to be like special to get 6. It used to have to be like red shirt,
Medical.
a medical red shirt, and your 4 years of eligibility.
Right. Now you can get the 4 years, a red shirt, a medical, the COVID year.
You get 2 COVID years.
Yeah, two. Yeah. So you could be looking at 8 years, 7 or 8 years in college.
It's fucking stupid. Yeah, they need to fucking fix this shit. It's too stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like again, I like I'm sympathetic to like the coach that recruited me left. I want to transfer.
Right.
Fine. But like you get one here. Like,
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Or if you want to transfer a second time, you got to sit the year.
oh you sit the year.
Yeah, like you get one freebie, right? So you can transfer one time for free anywhere, no issue, whatever. If you want to transfer after that, you got to sit a year.
And I also think too, you need to cite a legitimate reason. Coach leaving, death in the fan. Like I don't know. Like there's got to be not just
Yeah.
I don't like my playing time. Well,
Yeah.
fucking work harder.
Right. Right. Well,
Well,
that
I don't
was
like
the
my playing time because the coach that recruited me left, and the new guy's no good. All right, hop in the
yeah.
portal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Justin Fields situation. He left Ohio State because he didn't like his playing time. It's like I want to
Georgia,
start.
yeah,
Well, yeah, yeah.
Georgia,
He left Georgia to go to Ohio State. Sorry,
yeah,
because the phenom Jake Fromm.
yeah.
He couldn't start over Jake Fromm.
Jake Fromm had that offense going
Yeah,
until he didn't,
yeah,
and Justin Fields was already gone at that point.
but yeah, I mean, I agree with you there on that front. You get one free with a reason. Anything after that, you gotta sit.
I think I
So,
could work with that.
but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's gonna be something to watch people get pissed off inevitably, right? When I'm trying to think of a team like Tennessee, right? I feel like Tennessee women's basketball is pretty good, and they're still not going to get anywhere near the amount that the Tennessee football team gets.
No,
And people are just going to flip out over that. They're like, see?
but they say that all the time too. It's like they're not the same sport here.
Right.
It's like, oh, why don't the LPGA get the same like PGA Tour? Well, they're different fucking tours. Well, it should be equal. According to who? Like,
Yeah. Well, by that logic, too, why does Corn Ferry make less than the PGA?
yeah, it's like
It's a different tour.
it's a different tour. It's like, well, those guys aren't as good. Well, like again, it's different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People are dumb.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
you want to wrap this up?
I think it's about that time, seeing though
Yeah.
I fucking hacked up this entire time. Um, so Michaela and I watched Venom. There Will Be Carnage. So the second one.
Yep.
I mean, it's 3 years old at this point. I mean,
Had you
like,
never seen it before?
never saw it.
Oh,
Uh, So I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. There's a third one coming out. Like maybe we'll go see it. Maybe we'll just wait 3 years. Who really knows, right? But it still brought me back to again. They still in 2021 they were still dropping hints that like we have the multiverse or there's going to be a crossover. There's going to be this or there's going to be that. Are they ever going to fucking do anything here?
Probably not.
Not. They're not, are they?
No. I think they
Like, have we
are.
heard shit since Jonathan Majors has been out?
I was just gonna say, I think they were really scrambling once Jonathan Majors got let go because it feels like they had something and then they were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And now they just have nothing. And
When's
I
the
don't
next movie that even comes out?
couldn't even tell you. I have no
Fuck.
idea.
It's like the Roman Empire collapsing.
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. Um, Marvel movie timeline. Would that give me something?
I'll probably tell you what's coming out next. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking hey.
Phase. Oh no, that's phase three. What are we in? Phase four? Phase five at this point?
I don't know. The phases don't even matter. Just tell me when the next movie comes out.
Yeah. Uh let's see. Phase five. May 5th. Oh no, that was 2023. Huh. So the next one coming out is that doesn't seem right. Captain America New World Order was supposed to come out May 3rd.
This year?
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
I did not hear about such a thing.
I also did not hear about that. I don't know how accurate this list is.
Ask
When was
ChatGPT.
I should? When was this written? This was written in February of 2023. Yeah, I'm going to say that's probably not accurate anymore. Where's ChatGPT? Let's go, buddy. Help me out here. When is the next Marvel movie being released? Yeah, I don't think ChatGPT knows what year it is. He said the next Marvel movie being scheduled for release is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, coming on May 6th, 2022.
Everyone can keep your jobs.
Yeah. How hard is this to find? Like, why is this so difficult? I only want to know.
Deadpool,
Oh,
Wolverine, June.
so Deadpool, but I don't know if I count that as a Marvel movie. I mean, I know, yes, technically it's Marvel, right? But like Deadpool and Wolverine is,
Captain America's next year. Thunderbolts is next year.
yeah. So they just kicked everything into next year.
Fantastic Four's next year. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you some credit. Like, Blade is next year. Dude, everything's just next year. There's gonna be like
Yeah.
75 movies next year.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that has to do with the writer's strike too,
Probably had something to do with
but
it.
then also the Jonathan Major. I feel like
Probably a lot of things here.
it timed out well, where they were like, all right, let's just lay low. The writers are on strike. We're not doing anything. Jonathan Majors is a scumbag. So if we just like stay out of the headlines, maybe people will forget. And then we'll just come back with bangers next year. Probably not though.
We'll see.
They'll probably still suck.
We'll be the judge of that.
But I mean Deadpool and Wolverine will be good just because he's a great character. So, all right. Uh, my final thought is I have an n equals 2 um, sample size here, but I have a theory that Top Golf alters the clubs based on what floor you're at. So we went to Top Golf on Saturday. There was whatever, 12 of us there. Um, we were on the third floor. We were just kind of swinging away, having some fun, hacking at it, all that stuff, whatever. I mean, just rip and driver, right? Every side. There's no reason to not just rip driver. And then I went again yesterday for Mary's birthday. Shout out to Mary, friend of the show. Um, and we were on the second floor. And I noticed that the clubs look different. And I was like, it's just a different model, right? It's a newer model. And it could be, right? It could be a newer model. But as I was thinking and as I was like swinging and going through, I was absolutely pounding the ball. Now, I did play yesterday morning. I went down to Sandwich Hollows in the morning to play with my buddy Neil. Super easy getting down there, getting off almost got dicey. I think I made it out just in time to get off the Cape before I got stuck in like real bad traffic. Um, but I mean, I don't know. So I don't know if you want to say like it was a combination of like maybe I was a little bit more warmed up. Um, I don't know, but I was hitting the ball significantly further on the second floor where we were than I was on the third floor where we were on Saturday. So I know the clubs were different. Like I know for a fact the clubs were different because they look different. So maybe it was just that. Maybe that the bay I was in just had a newer model. I don't know. But because then I thought about it more that maybe it makes sense that on the third floor, because you're up higher, you want to deaden it a little bit more, right? Because you don't want to lose the balls, right? You don't want the balls to go over the net. So if you're up higher, right, you're effectively like 12 to 15 feet above the level below you. Um, you probably want the ball to go less far, right? Because you don't want it to go over the net. I'm talking on the sides, not the net in the bed. No one's gonna hit with the balls that they use there, the rolled back ball. No one's gonna hit it over the net straight away, but it would go over the net on either the right or the left side, is what I mean.
So yeah, maybe they kill him.
So I don't know. Yeah, maybe they kill the clubs
I
on the
don't know.
third floor. Like I said, I've only been to Canton twice. And I've been once on the third floor, once on the second floor.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I've definitely had different clubs, different set makeups. I've had different stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not like you thought you'd think it's all the same, and it's not. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
probably something to it. Because yeah, I mean, like you hit a big enough of a hook from the third floor, you can go over the net.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know how you would do that from the second floor or the ground
Yeah.
floor.
Because it was one of those like too. I was hitting I got a 142.6 ball speed.
Yeah.
And I was like consistently like 138, 139 and above. Like I was right around a 140 ball speed the whole time. But I feel like on Saturday, what was the fastest ball speed I got? Like 136.
I don't even know. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
So I just thought it was interesting that it was like a 6 mile an hour difference on the ball speed from the club
May-
level to
Maybe
level.
maybe you're just a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah, maybe. That's always a possibility too. But yeah, so that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe up above, hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're an audio only guy as well. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. The Twitter is sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is sarcasm speaks. The website is sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy some merch. Check out the show notes below. Support our sponsors. Support us by supporting them. Use the discount codes and promos and get all kinds of deals and money off and all kinds of that, and get cool products too in the meantime. So until next time, good night, everyone.